Hello Minecrafters, and welcome to episode 45 of our Direwolf Let's Play series. We are currently on the road to a tier 6 blood magic altar. And I've gotten a few things done off camera. One thing in particular are these runes of the orb. These are going to be a requirement to get to level 6. And the reason is you have to have 15 million LP in your bank or in your personal bank before you can summon the demon invasion. So basically what you have to have is the Archmage's Blood Orb and 25 runes of the orb. Each rune of the orb gives 2% increase of your orb. So this orb does 10 million, and so each one of these increases it by 2%. So 25 of those increases it by 50%, which would be 15 million. Now I've got a few extra, and I'm actually full. So, well, I was full. Don't know why I get the apple. Okay, there. And so 15 million, 1 point shy of 15.6 million. And that is with 28. I also, since I had to take out my speed runes here, I took out my speed runes there and upgraded those to runes of acceleration. Now, in the last episode, we were putting witches down here. And basically, I was just using the soul, is it soul bottle? Soul vial from Ender.io, and it worked great until I cut off the altar and just stopped damaging those, and I went away and I came back and they were all gone because they all despawned. So what I ended up having to do was redo all of those, and I used the jailer's net, and I've not had any issues with them whatsoever since then. I have put a little off switch here, so I can actually cut that off. That way it's not constantly draining, but most of the time if my orb's in there, I just leave it on. Let's see, but that just does the remote down below. There we go. I have to be careful where I do that, because if I hit the wrong place, yeah, I'll suffocate. But anyways, that's all that is. It just goes to here and sends the signal up to that. Okay. Next on the agenda. Taint. The taint there no more. As you can see, our little ethereal blooms have taken care of any and all issues that we had with taint previously. What's moving around? Oh, I guess it's just particle effects, but it looked like seeds or something moving around. So I can take up the ethereal blooms now, but for now I'm just going to leave them. We ran the crystallizer for a while, almost filled up a diamond chest, and I figured, you know what, I'm going back to voiding. And we are now sitting at almost 81,000 aluminum. Eventually I will start converting over things that use charcoal over to the aluminum. I honestly just haven't gotten to it yet. Let's see, what have we got to do next? Ah, essentias. Or actually, here they're called reagents. And I've already got a few of these filled. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I should have one more. Hold on just a minute, let me see what's missing. Yeah, a little secret about me. Best place in the world to hide anything from me is in plain view, or otherwise known as my hotbar. Okay, so I've got these essentials, or reagents, sorry. I have these done, and I left 2. And the reason is because having never done this before, it's one of those things, it's so easy when you know, and so difficult if you don't. So basically what you do is you create or craft these alchemic calcinators. And I mean, they're really not difficult. You just make the strengthened catalyst, 3 glass, 3 cobble, and cracked runic plates. And most of this is done in the alchemic chemistry set, which is right over here. You can see the remnants of where I was doing all my crafting. Oh, yeah, about that. I researched one thing. Let's see. Thumbcraft. Where's my book? Apparently it's hiding right in front of me again. Because I have like 2 or 3 books and I don't see them in here. Well, anyways, I researched the Thumbcraft furnace in order to get past it to the bellows, because I was testing them out on that. And it was supposed to be minor, and I still get that, I don't know what it's called, where it darkens around the edges and you hear your heartbeat and you get a little strange message, which is apparently gone now. But anyways, a little frustrated with that. I wouldn't have thought that I would get effects from it just off of one minor. But anyways, as I digress, always. Okay, so got these. And I want to get my hoppers. Now the way I set these up was putting hoppers on them. Put one there and one there. Now the bad thing is I stuck it in there. It didn't do anything. I took it back out. Stuck it back in there. Still didn't do anything. Looked things up on the web. I looked them up on the wiki. I watched videos. I've tried putting coal in them. I tried RF. I never could find anyone that stated put an orb in it. And once you put an orb in it, that pretty much is what powers it. And so then you open this up, throw all this in here, and voila, it starts working. And I mean, I don't think it really even matters what orb you put in it. So I just went back and got some of the previous orbs, threw them in there, and that's what they run off of, because they run off, which, I mean, that's not, well, it went down a little bit. But there you go. That's how you run it. And you can see the numbers just above my hit bar as to, you know, the numbers coming up, the reagents that it is processing. That is how you break down your reagents to put them into the bell jars. Then you take your alchemic router And I've not used the segmenter yet, but I have used the cleanser. I'm not even sure if you have to. But anyways, with your alchemic router, what you do is you shift right click, and you can see that it says attuned crystal now set to Magicalis. Okay, so now you have tuned it in to your reagent that's here. You let off the shift, you right click again, and it tells me that the link container is either too far or is in a different dimension. And what this means is this was set from a previous time, so I need to look somewhere that's out of range and shift right click so it clears saved container. Now I can just regular right click, and it's saying linking to selected container. You right click here and it's going to be transmitting. And if you hover over here, you see the numbers over my hit bar going up. And this should go up to 16,000. So we want to look away, shift right click to clear, shift right click to change to Potentia, let off the shift, right click to select that tank, and then just regular right click here to target that one. And now that one is starting to fill. And so just for those that have done it, I apologize for the slow rendition of how to do it. But it was one of those things that I ran into and could not find where anyone had taken the time to say, oh, by the way, this is how you set this up. The alchemy stuff is really basic. And the way that I found out to put the orb in over here is because, well, I didn't want to do that. I guess you got to put the orb in before you put those in. Okay, the way I found out is I would put my mouse or put the reagents in my hand and right click on the calcinator, and it would put one in and it didn't do anything. And then I'd right click with an empty hand to take it out, and I'd go back over it and click it in again, and just doing different things. Well, when I went to go right click on the empty spot to take the reagent out, I overshot it and one of my orbs was there, I think. No, actually I overshot a reagent and put it and had the orb and right click the orb in it. Well, then the orb went in and it started doing the little curly cues things, and I'm like, huh, it looks like it's on now. So then I put the reagents in it, and lo and behold, okay, I'm not going to spend the whole show talking about this, but it was a little frustrating that there's very little documentation about this. But it's figured out, and now I have documented it, and hopefully if someone needs the information, then they can find it. And that one's now done. So this was the next step in our demon invasion, because you have to have 16 of Tenebrae, 16 Terra, 16 Aqua Salis, Aether, Sanctus, Incendium, Potentia, and Magicalis. These will go on top of the ritual that we're going to do for the demon invasion. Let's see. One of the other things that we're going to need are 128 ritual stones. So we have to have 128 of these. I should have enough obsidian, and I'm pretty sure I did slates. So let me grab one of my orbs over here, and blood altar. Look in there. Nope, wrong one. Look in there. Yep. And I'm gonna need 4 extras. And the reason for that is the Master Ritual Stone. So we want to bring that up, put our orb in the middle, wrap that, and throw those 2 stacks in and just run that all through. So yeah, there's my 2 stacks of ritual stones plus 4. And so then we want to make our Master Ritual Stone, which is basically the same, except you've got ritual stones instead of slates. And so we just take that, put that there, and then we have this. So now we have all of that. And I've got the mana. And so if I'm not mistaken, the only thing we have left is room. Somewhere to do this. And I've been a little back and forth on that. There's a part of me that's tempted to make a Mistcraft world. And just, you know, create a world for the invasion. And there's also a side of me that kind of, you know, I kind of want to have it in this world. I mean, this is where I live. And I'm still undecided. The demon invasion from where you summon or where you set up the altar and the gateway and all that, from that point it can spread up to 1,000 blocks out. So 1,000 blocks radius, 2,000 blocks diameter. One of the things that I was thinking about was my old home, which is, from where I'm standing right here, 4,860 meters away. That won't reach me. So I'm kind of tempted to do it there. You know what? Why not? Let's see. So then we want to go to the old house. And I'm also kind of wondering if this will be safe from them. But I thought this might be kind of a cool little area. And if you saw my first episode, this is actually where I started out. This, and got my old town over there. Basically, it's a couple of trees that got decapitated by meteors, and I just always thought it was kind of cool. So there's my strange whispers again. And hey, I gained a research point. I just happened to notice that in the bottom right corner. So, I mean, it's kind of flat. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this here. Let me find an area. Were it not for the hole, and I can't remember if that's one I made. Yep, looks like one I made. I tell you what, hold on just a minute. I'm going to go back to the house, get a couple of things, come back here, clean this place up a little bit, and I think this will be the spot for our demon invasion. Folks, it looks like we're actually going to get to do that this episode. Hold on just a minute, I'll be right back. Okay, and there is one other thing I'm going to need that I didn't have, and that is the Awakened Activation Crystal. I'll have to have this in order to start this ritual. So we're going to put in our weak activation crystal, Aquacellus. I'm going to use a Nether Star. You can also use the Demon Blood Shard, but you can also use Nether Stars. Our Incendium and our Aether, and that should be it. You can see this one going on. I ran out of simple catalyst making all the other ingredients. And so there we have this one. And guess what? I'm actually going to remember to bind this to me. Dun dun dun. Finally. I always forget that part when I make a new orb. It doesn't matter. Whatever I'm doing, I always forget that. Anyways, I think that's it. I'm sure I'm missing something. If you've done this before, go ahead, scream at me, yell at the screen. You're missing this. You forgot to do that. It's okay. I put down carpenter's pressure plates, and I used the hammer. See if it's still in my text here. Yep, used the hammer to attune it to players only, and then just put glass on it. That way it would blend in with, you know, the floor. And I went and got my Horn of the Wild and cleared out a little area over here. And I'm going to try and see if I can't figure out where some of the runes are going to be placed. I know, let's see. I know the Master Ritual Stone will go there. And I'm actually guessing at some of this off of a picture from a video that Way of Time did, because I don't really want to have to go back in and fill it all in. And I know you don't have to do that anyways. It would be easier getting around. So I'm kind of hoping I can get this right. Let's see, that's a skip one in there, which I've got my shovel, but I've got that sucker where it's almost too fast to use on dirt, which I guess it's not too bad flying. Let's see. I believe this is right. I think this is right. And the darkness comes. So, we'll head home, sleep through the night one more time. Come back out here, double check before I come back out here, make sure I've got everything, because there was one other item I may have forgotten. So I'll be right back. Wrong house. Be right back. All right. And one other thing I did want to briefly go over. If you're doing this on Direwolf 20 like I am, December 24th, Way of Time posted on Twitter. Note to Direwolf 1.0.3 users: delete your config/blood magic folder if you want to do the demon invasion. Be right back. Yelling at someone. So apparently there was an issue with that. So you just have to go in, you know, close Minecraft, close down everything, go in and delete that folder in your config, and then when you restart, it will recreate that folder, and it will put in the files that are needed, that are actually missing. So let's see. Oh, duh. Might help if I got this set on the right one. Which one? Convocation of the Damned. That's it. put these here. That way I can see the numbers going down, and I'll know if it stops before they're all used that I missed something, but it looks like it's doing right. And there we go. I am certainly glad that I don't have to place and color each individual one of these. Okay, so next we want to open this up, and we're done with that. We're still going to need this. I don't think it matters which order these are in, but these go up on the tops here. Like that. Alright, and then I want to take the relays, and this isn't necessarily a need to do, but the way of Time did it, it looked simpler. And once we get everything set up, in theory, we can just come in and flip the 4 switches and make a run for it. Okay, now I've got my blood altar, I've got this. I left my router. Well, shoot. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my router, and we're going to see if we can get all this to get linked up the way it needs to be. So let's get this going. Alright, I actually caught that one in time. It seems to be a little hard to get all that timed in right. Because you got to get that second one locked in before the first one overflows and goes into the next one. All right, I seem to have the hang of it now. All right, so that's those 4 set to there. So now I want to link these into the Master Ritual Stone. And we'll do the Terre. Oh, right. Got to clear that. Terre from here to here. And I don't have my switches. I was supposed to have my switches. Oh well, we'll see how this does. Did I give something up? Yeah, I did. Okay. Hold on just a minute. Let me see if I can get this right, and I'll be right back. Okay, from the looks of the color particles, I think everything is going in like it's supposed to be. So we'll place the blood altar. Make sure that this is activated. Current owner, Jim Slate. Here goes nothing. Hey, we're working. wanted to use this just to, oh yeah, all kinds of LP getting dumped into there. I hope, it looks like everything's going in. Okay, this is the one going in right now. Alright, let's turn down weather. Okay, apparently that didn't do anything. Well, I don't want it off. Did I have it on 1% earlier? I will do it on 0. Okay, apparently lightning is not a weather sound. Go figure. Okay, well, I'm going to cut until after the lightning show, and I'll be right back, because I know we're already running over a little bit, and I want to get to the main part of this. This is just kind of repetitive, but I'll be right back. Alright, and we're back, and we are draining down the very last one, and that should be the completion of this part. However, there's a problem. And I didn't realize this earlier. I'm still missing a piece. And that is a demon crystal in order to spawn a demon. Because, well, you have to sacrifice a demon on the altar to finish this. We were so close. Now, hopefully, everything is saved. It's supposed to be. So, I am hoping that once I leave here to go summon a demon, capture him, all that stuff, that I'll be able to bring it back here, sacrifice it, and move on. However, and I hate doing this, that is the show for tonight, or for this episode. I hate leaving you hanging. But the good thing is, the way this is scheduled, tomorrow our next episode will post, and you'll be able to see what happens next. So anyways, I was almost there. I thought I could get it in, but alas, it was not meant to be. It's been fun though. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Tune in next episode when we summon a demon, capture a demon, bring the demon here, sacrifice the demon, and we open a portal, and then they invade. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you did like it. If you did like it, please click like down below to help me out. If you have any questions, want to make any suggestions, yada yada yada, I say it every time. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the show. Take care. See you next episode, and God bless.